Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to be cooking from the Elder Scrolls Cookbook, and we are going to be making the highly coveted and often sought after Sweetroll. Seems like everybody in Tamriel really loves having these for breakfast, so let's get in and see if they really are as good as everyone says they are. So the ingredients are actually pretty basic. We only need 2 cups of flour. I have 1 cup of warm whole milk, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of honey, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, a pinch of salt, and 2 teaspoons of instant active dry yeast. And then for the icing, we are going to need a half of a cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, 1 tablespoon of butter, and about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. And that is it, guys. So let me get some of this stuff out of my way and we will go ahead and start. And I'm actually going to start with the milk, and I'm going to add my honey into it. Now I did spray my container with a little bit of all-purpose kitchen spray just to help the honey kind of slide right out of there. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that in while I add my yeast in. And you just want to make sure you mix that up pretty good there. Actually, let me switch over to my fork. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my butter. Here we go. And you want to mix that in really well. Now when you heat up your milk, you want to make sure you do it. I did mine in the microwave on like 15-20 second intervals until it reached my desired temperature. You don't want it too hot because it will kill your yeast, and it will also cook your egg, so not good. And we're going to go ahead and dump in our egg now and get that stirred around. Alright guys, that looks pretty good to me. So now what I'm going to do, instead of adding my salt here, I'm going to add it into my flour. And I'm just going to give it a quick little stir around while I make a well in the center of my flour so I can pour my liquids, which we are going to do now. And now all we need to do is start mixing to combine our liquids into our flour. While I'm doing this, I would like to remind you of the Gamers and Geeks playlist that TopCat and I have going on our channels. If you guys would like to be a part of it, it's really easy. All you have to do is go out and make a cooking video, and then once you've done that, post it to your channel, and then let either JPEG or I know, either in our Discord servers, or if you're not a part of those, then certainly you can let us know in the comment section of our latest cooking videos. And we will be more than happy to go over, check out your video, and get it added to the playlist. Right now we are sitting over 190 recipes on the playlist, and that is absolutely amazing. So once again, guys, thank you all so very much for your support on the playlist. It's truly been amazing. Alright guys, I think that looks really good. So what we need now are 4 bundt pans, and you want the little mini bundt pans. The recipe calls for a 5-inch bundt pan, mini bundt pan. The best I could find was a 4.4. The next ones up were like a 6. So I'm going to go with the smaller one. And all we need to do is spread this mixture evenly between all of them. Which, if we can get it down in there, there we go. Now, the recipe does not say to spray your pans at all, and I'm a little concerned about that. I've not used these pans before, so I actually don't know how they're going to release. So what I'm going to do this one without spraying it. And I think I'm going to spray the others just to be on the safe side. So that looks pretty good. Let me grab my spray real quick. Alright guys, let me go ahead and get these. I've already gone ahead and sprayed them. And I think this is actually going to work a little bit better than the one that's not sprayed. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and continue getting these filled up until I've got them evenly distributed. And I will see you guys here in a second. Alright guys, I've got these as evenly divided as I could get them. And all we need to do now is start preheating our oven to 350 degrees and let these rise for about 30 minutes. And then once they've done that, I'm going to pop them into the oven for about 15 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into them comes out clean. So I will see you when it's time to make the icing. Alright guys, so it is time to go ahead and make our icing. As you can see, our sweet rolls are out of the oven. Now I did let them sit in the pans for about 5 minutes before I removed them and put them on my wire rack to cool. The ones that I sprayed did pop out a tad bit easier, so I would definitely recommend that you spray your pan if you choose to make this recipe. So all we need to do now is take our half of a cup of powdered sugar, and I'm going to add in my room temperature cream cheese, which was 2 tablespoons, and my 1 tablespoon of room temperature butter. And I'm just going to start to slowly work this in. Alright, now that I've got the butter and cream cheese worked in, and that went together very quickly, what we want to start doing is slowly adding in a little bit of our heavy cream. And the consistency we're looking for is something that's still fairly thick and just barely falls off the edge of our spoon. So let's start working in this first tablespoon and see how it goes. Alright, as you can see, it's still pretty thick, so we do need to add another, let's start with maybe about a half of a tablespoon and go from there. Alright guys, it took about a total of 3.5 tablespoons of the heavy cream to reach the desired consistency, which is heavy enough to just barely run off the spoon. There we go. Yeah, perfect that way. So let's go ahead, and these are cool enough. We'll go ahead and bring one of them down. And all we want to do is slowly start drizzling our icing just over the top and kind of letting it trickle down the side a little bit. Alright guys, our sweet rolls are all iced up and they look pretty good, pretty close to what you see in the game. But the big thing is how do they taste? So let's go ahead and cut into one of these and see what we think about it. Alright guys, so here is our slice, and I will say it looks very similar to bread rolls that I've made in the past. It does have a slight yeasty smell, and I do get a faint whiff of the honey, but let's go in and see what it tastes like. Alright guys, well, I'm gonna say I'm very disappointed with this recipe. The bread part of it tastes just like a dinner roll. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting something more with a honey back note to it. And while you can kind of smell the honey, you don't taste it at all. And while the icing is good, it doesn't set itself apart from any other cream cheese icing. What would I do different to actually make it taste like a sweet roll that I would expect to find in Skyrim? I would definitely add maybe some cardamom or at the very least cinnamon into the bread mixture, and maybe a pinch of sugar along with that honey. And definitely the icing either needed some vanilla or possibly some lemon to just help kick it up a notch. You know, guys, I do these recipes for the first time when I record them. So I have no prior knowledge to what they taste like because I want to give you my honest opinion on these recipes at the time that I make them for the first time. So sadly, this is one that I'll probably play around with and see if I can improve it. And if I can't, then this will be one I will never make again. Which is a shame. I was actually very excited to make this one just because the Sweetroll is so iconic in the Elder Scrolls. Alright guys, well, quite frankly, I'm not quite sure why everyone's out stealing them all over Tamriel. For me, they're more than welcome to them. You know, for now, that's where I'm going to leave it. If you guys like this video, leave me a comment down below. If you guys tried this recipe out, let me know what you think of it. Remember to check out the Gamers and Geeks playlist. I will leave a link, as always, down in the description. But for now, thank you all so very much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.